everyone, I'm Ashni Joshi, and today I'm going to be teaching you all a great chapter in physics, which really fascinates me. I always got good marks in it. I hope you do too. It's called sound. So let's see what we're going to learn in this new chapter called sound. Sound part 1. So we all know that musical instruments produce sounds. That is why I put this picture up here. Now let's see what's there further in this chapter called sound. What is sound? To understand a chapter, we first have to understand what we are talking about, right? So, what is sound? We hear different sounds every day, ranging from your mom calling out your name to the sound you hear from your favorite television show. So, if your TV is on and there is sound coming out of that machine, you term it as sound because it produces a sense of hearing in your ears. It means that when that sound enters your ear, you think that you are hearing something, right? Other examples of sound can include a dog barking, a police siren, or even someone clapping their hands. So, anything, any sound that produces a sense of hearing in your ears, if you say, I hear this, I hear that, then that is actually sound. Basically, sound is a form of energy that provides a sense of hearing in our ears. So we all know about the five senses, right? That is seeing, smelling, feeling, tasting, and hearing. So this sound, which is a form of energy, produces a sense of hearing. This hearing is being produced in our ears. Sound requires a medium to propagate. Before we understand this statement, we need to know that sound is produced through the vibration of particles. When I say that sound is produced through the vibration of particles, what do I really mean? So, particles are around us, they're in everything. They're in gases, they're in liquids, and they're also in solids. So, particles can be also termed as molecules or as atoms, right? So, suppose that if you take air as a gas, there are particles such as carbon dioxide molecules or oxygen molecules. In liquids such as water, there are H2O molecules. And if you take a solid such as gold, then there are gold atoms. So when these molecules or when these particles vibrate, in our previous chapter, we've learned what vibration is. Vibration is the to and fro movement of an object, right? So when these particles vibrate, they produce sound. Sound can travel in solids, liquids, and gases. Since we all know all these three, they have particles. But sound cannot travel in vacuum. This is very important to note that sound cannot travel in vacuum. We know a vacuum doesn't have any particles. Now, if there are no particles, there are no vibrations. If there are no vibrations, there is no sound. Sound cannot travel in vacuum because there are no particles present to vibrate. So, an interesting example of this is that if we go to the moon and we scream, then no one will be able to hear us. So, if the astronauts on moon want to communicate with each other, they can't just simply speak. If they want to speak, then there has to be a medium between them, like air, so that the particles can vibrate and propagate the sound, but there is no medium, so they have to use walkie-talkies. Another great example would be that if a planet in our galaxy or in any other galaxy made a noise, or if there was an explosion in space, we would not be able to hear it, and neither would someone who was very close to that explosion or where the explosion happened, because sound cannot travel in vacuum. Sound can propagate through solids, liquids, and gases. We already learned this because they have particles which vibrate and therefore transfer the vibrations and allow the propagation of sound. Since in solids, the molecules are packed very closely. Now, this is an important note that in solids, the molecules or the particles are packed very closely, as can be seen in this picture. They are packed very closely. In liquids, they are packed a little further apart, and in gases, they are the furthest apart. Now, logically speaking, if one of these vibrates, then the time taken to transfer this vibration to the adjacent particle is very less compared to liquids and even lesser compared to gases. Since they are very close, they can transfer the vibrations very easily, very quickly. In liquid, they have to travel a larger distance, therefore they'll take a larger time. And in gases, it will take the most amount of time. Since in solids the molecules are packed very closely, they pass on the vibration to the neighboring molecules quicker, and therefore sound travels fastest in solids. This a great example of this would be that if you go to a railway station and you put your ears on the railway tracks, you can hear a train coming. But if you get up and try to listen to it from the medium of air, you won't hear it coming. Sound travels slower in liquids and slowest in air. Lastly, we learn the speed of sound. Sound travels quicker in denser mediums. We already learned this because the molecules are packed closely, the vibrations are transmitted quicker, and therefore sound travels quicker in these mediums. The speed of sound is calculated by the given equation. Now we already know the formula for calculating the speed of anything is the distance traveled divided by the time taken. For a sound wave, it's similar. The distance traveled by the sound wave divided by the time taken by the sound wave to travel that particular distance. Thank you. This was it for sound part one. I hope you understood everything, and I look forward to meeting you in sound part two. Bye.